Jim, thank you very much for joining me in this interview. Just tell me, what would you say have been the biggest impacts that you've seen in your 3 weeks, I suppose now 4, but certainly in the first 3 weeks of being with AVN?
Yeah, the biggest headline is that I've re-quoted a client and they've accepted from a monthly fee increase of £545 to £2,900. And I've got an exactly similar quote with a client at the moment that we're fine-tuning, another one that's gone from £18,000 a year to £36,000 a year. And I've had a conversation with a client that's currently on £300 a month, and we're working backwards from 36 grand a year. So those are my 3 headlines at the moment I'm most happy with.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And is this from offering more added value types of services to those clients?
100%. It's all the stuff that we're very capable of doing as a team of accountants, but we've worked out how we're going to deliver it. And importantly, from the client's perspective, communicating the value that they're going to benefit from having these conversations with us.
What extra benefits have you seen during that very small period of time that you've been with AVN?
So one of the examples of something it happened very recently. It was a really, really small benefit, but I felt very good about it. About the simplest tax return that you could imagine came through the door. And in the past, I would have, as an inquiry, and in the past, I would have picked up the phone, promised the client the earth, and got it through the door for not a very big fee. But instead, I was able to literally acknowledge the email, introduce a trainee accountant in my team, and she thinks it's an hour's worth of work, and we've agreed a price of £550 for it. And it's just an example of the value. If we properly are able to communicate the value that we give to clients, and the whole team are engaged in it, it's freed up my time massively. So I've gone from spending probably a couple of hours of my time to get a few £100 to spending 10 minutes of my time to get to at least double what I would have previously charged for it. So that is, the ability to delegate and have processes and free up my time is the most rewarding bit.
Yeah, that really is amazing stuff. Jim, please just take a few moments just to introduce yourself and just give us a little bit of background around the practice.
Yeah, so my name's Jim Norrington. I'm a partner at the TC Group. My journey to becoming a partner is quite an unusual one, in that I stepped away from a good opportunity elsewhere to take a bit of a risk by joining the TC Group. And we acquired a firm local to me that was in distress, in a bit of a mess. So it was a cheap-ish deal for an acquisition, and a bit of a turnaround job. I almost could not see a way in which I was going to turn it around, and I had lots of ideas. And I've suddenly found a little bit of oomph to just accelerate the improvement process, and it's bearing fruit.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So just tell us a little bit more about, obviously you only joined AVN, I think it was about a month ago now, wasn't it? You sent an email with those great benefits in a week ago. Just tell me what the practice has been operating like. You talked about this acquisition, It's been hard work. Just give us a flavour for what life was like, really, I suppose.
Yeah, so the starting point, so this is before I took out from the previous business owner, is she operated with 3 staff members, and she was working 80 hours a week. Now, I couldn't in my head fathom how you could work 80 hours a week, just in case anyone's sense checking that back, Shane. But she used to work 6 till 6 every day. And that was Monday to Friday and on Saturdays. And so that only gets you to 72 hours. And then there was an evening work thrown in, and presumably something on Sundays as well. So she was working horrendous hours, and had between her and the 3 staff members so I can't give an exact number here, but about 620 clients. The reason I say about is because there wasn't a process in place for capturing who the clients were and what service they were delivered, so they weren't actually written down anywhere. So yeah, it was just constant firefighting after firefighting. There was absolutely no predefined service or niche offering that they offered. They were just absolutely anything to everyone. So we did everything from weekly cash flow forecasts to independent examinations for small charities, from small sole traders and small limited companies, essentially. Bookkeeping, non-bookkeeping, VAT, everything was done. There was no, we don't do it. All pretty low fee, to be honest, all low fee. I think we worked out the average fee was something like, it was around 380 to 400 pounds per client at the start. So if you can imagine, it's a huge amount of relationships, all from low value work. But there were still some half decent fees in there, but a lot of it was really small.
Okay, thank you for that. So just, I'll come straight to the point. Why did you decide to join AVN?
I'd always wanted to improve the practice, and I was definitely doing some really good things to improve it. And I just felt that I was almost like running in sand sometimes. It was just a bit slow. And I almost stumbled across your book, Shane, Putting Excellence into Practice. And it must have been within about, let's say, first few pages. They will say the first few pages of the book should really capture you. And as much as I can't remember what the opening part of your book was, it's something just resonated with me, and I just couldn't put it down, and just loved it, and just read the whole thing. Then got the audio book and listened to the whole thing, and just, yeah, it just really got me thinking of ways I can improve. Yeah, I feel now that I'm taking calculated, measured risks and making sensible business decisions, and actually thinking more like a business owner, which is brilliant. All stuff that you know as an accountant I'm more than capable of doing, but I just didn't have the roadmap in my head on how I was going to do it. My concerns around joining, now an obvious one is going to be about membership fees, but that wasn't my main concern. My main concern was joining it and letting myself down or letting other people down by not giving it the time that it needs. And the reason I wouldn't be giving it the time it needs is because I'm still firefighting some of the small jobs from a business that was in distress that I'm trying to overcome. So actually, yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it, that you're focusing on these really small clients that mean nothing to you because you don't want to let them down, and you're not focusing on the most important client, which is my practice. So my concern was letting people down, really. By spending some time on myself, I'm only going to give them a better service in the long run. Yeah, understood. So, if somebody who's watching this video, let's say that they've been thinking about AVN, but they're hesitating over joining, what would you say to that person right now? I would say to them, yeah, good question, Shane. It's about what the business is doing for you. Is what you are currently doing giving you the lifestyle that you dream of? Is it really, really satisfying you? And are you thinking about retiring early, or are you thinking about what is the next random bit of compliance that's going to land in my inbox tomorrow? It's about what you want as a lifestyle. We should be thinking about why we went into business in the first place. If you're anything like me, you worked for a firm and you backed yourself as being really, really good at your job, and you thought I'd be amazing if I was my own boss. And turns out it's quite hard. But actually, yeah, if the business isn't giving you the lifestyle that you wanted, that you thought you could get, you've got nothing to lose by considering something like AVN.
Yeah, as we said, your journey is just in the infancy with AVN. 4 weeks in. So yeah, I'm personally looking forward to following your journey in the coming weeks and months. But thank you very much for sharing your success so far. It's been fantastic.
Thanks, Shane. Thank you. I've really enjoyed it. yeah, it's really motivated me to just put my office, my business at the forefront of my mind. And it's just given me it's made me accountable for taking actions for improving myself.
Good. Very pleased to hear it. Thank you.
Thanks, Shane. Thanks a lot.